Hey fellow explorers, I've got a new camera to share with you today. This is the DJI Osmo Nano. I've had it for just about a week, and this is what I think the good, the bad, and the ugly is about this camera. I'll tell you what I like, tell you what I don't like so much, and tell you what I really hate about it, because there are some features that are just really kind of on this camera. Now, before I get into the good, you might be thinking to yourself, Chris, how do you have this camera anyway? Because didn't they not release it in the USA yet? Well, technically they didn't, but it was available on Amazon on release day for $329 for the 128 gigabyte combo. So that's what I've got right here. So all right, let's get into the good. So the good, it's really unique form factor and design. The fact that it's got this separate camera module from the display module. So this is an Action camera that you can take off the camera, and it wirelessly connects here to the screen. And so on the screen, as I move the camera around, you can see me on the screen. And so that's pretty neat. So you can put this places that it might be hard to reach or look at where you couldn't see the screen, and then you can use this to like frame your shot and see how it all works. When you connect it to the dock, then you get some more features. We'll talk about those as we go through, but you can absolutely use it just wirelessly, just like this. You push the record button to record, and then you get a little red blinking light on there that tells you it's recording. And when you're done, you turn it off. And so if you just want to be incognito, you can sort of take just this little piece around, and it doesn't look professional or huge or honking at all. It's also really fun to show your friends. Like, most people haven't seen a camera that does this. You can move this around and see this on a screen. So as kind of a party favor, most of my friends have been like, wow, that's a really cool camera. And frankly, it does feel kind of magic. Now, in addition to being able to use this as just a remote display, you can also use it to control the camera wirelessly. So if I push the record button on this dock, then it will start recording up here. So another one where you can set this up high, start and stop recording after you've set up and framed your shot. A little bit of a delay though. I pushed the stop button about 3 seconds ago, so it does take some delay when it's in the wireless mode. Both the dock and the camera have batteries. The dock has a bigger battery, and so once you dock the camera to the dock, then it will charge from the dock battery to the camera battery. When you're using it in this configuration, it will use the dock battery first before it starts using the smaller battery on the camera module. That way, when you disconnect it, you've got the most juice right away. The camera element is waterproof, this little one right here. The dock isn't. So if you want to see yourself underwater, well, good luck. You need to keep this one up on land. The dock is splash proof, but not waterproof. The camera element has a built-in storage. There's a 64 gigabyte model or 128 gigabyte model. You do not need to buy an SD card to use this. It records everything internally to the camera. There is an SD card slot in the dock, but it is not used for recording. It is used for transferring footage while you're out and about from the camera to the dock so that you can record more. We'll talk about that in the bad too, because that's kind of a weird feature. But the good part about this is you don't need to buy any SD cards to use this. It's also smart in orientation, that if you hold it up like this, it detects that it's a tall video, and if you hold it like this, it detects it's a horizontal video, and you can use it upside down or right side up, and it's all pretty smart to figure out where up is and just make that magically work. It has really good image stabilization in daylight. Here's some shots of me out walking about. So just to give you an idea of what the picture quality looks like and the stabilization looks like, this is being shot in 4K with rock steady mode. There are two stabilizations. This is the lightest stabilization mode, and if I change it to horizon balancing, then this is what that looks like as I get into the shade a little bit. But horizon balancing punches in a little bit more and makes it more steady. It tries to kind of track the horizon and then keep that all steady in the background. By the way, you can see maybe not super great in the dynamic range. Like, I guess I'm a little bit dark here in the shade and it's a little bit bright back there. But once I get into the sun, then you know what? Pretty good. I'm just holding this in my hand. This is just handheld right now as we do a little bit of a spin move like this. I like these spin moves with these Action cameras, but yeah, you can see when I get the sun behind me, oh, it gets pretty dark back there. So that's what it looks like when I'm just walking. What about if I'm jogging a little bit? This is a brief jog. It's a light jog because I'm
Well, I'm trying to talk at the same time. If I was running really fast, I couldn't talk at the same time, but this is what it looks like at me. This is what it looks like if I hold it forward as a bit of a jog. So you can see, all in all, does a pretty good job of keeping it steady, even with a light jog.
Overall, in outside bright daylight or in inside bright light, I found this to have really good video quality. As it starts to get darker, not so much. We'll talk about that when we get to the bad, too. Now, one of my personal favorite features about the Osmo Nano is that you can connect DJI mics to it. So you can record wireless audio from this little guy right here. It'll work with the DJI Mic 2, the DJI Mic Mini, or the DJI Mic 3. You can pair 1 or 2 microphones wirelessly to the Nano. The camera module has built-in magnets on the back and magnets on the side, so that if you find some place that's metal, you can just go ahead and stick this up there, and then you can walk back from it and get some creative shots.
For example, I can place this camera right here on the metal pole. Poles make really good metal spots, and I can back away from it and, you know what, get a pretty great shot. Get a walking scene, get some distance, and I don't need anybody to help hold that. And people who are walking by don't really even realize what I'm doing. I'm just holding the camera right here like this, but they wouldn't even realize that this is a camera recording me, or think about it to steal it, because it looks pretty inconspicuous right there. Yeah, and it's cool because there's lots of metal in the world. You know, we find this little doggy bag thing right up here, put the camera right up there like that, and then we can just kind of do like a nice walking scene going by. It's pretty good for B-roll shots. Chris, you're talking. What's a B-roll? Okay, it's A-roll if I'm talking, but you know, that's just great ways to mix up the visuals. Hey there, without needing to carry a tripod everywhere you go. But I guess it does need to be a place with metal, so this is probably better for like city scenes rather than it is if you're hiking or if you're out in Sedona, Arizona. Not going to be a lot of metal out with the rocks. Oh, and by the way, most of the video that I've been recording with this to show you the Osmo video has been using the DJI Mic 3 as the audio source. If you want to know what it sounds like if I turn this off a little bit more, we turn this off, and now hold it so that I don't cover up the microphones. This is what it sounds like handheld from, you know, about a foot in front of your face. I know it's kind of dark as we go over here. This is what it sounds like as I come over this way to the other side. This is what it sounds like when I'm not talking to the camera. This is what it sounds like when I am talking to the camera. This is what it sounds like when my arm is extended all the way. Definitely not as nice as if we turn this back on. Let's go ahead and hear this. And of course, there's some help in the background, but you know what? Now we hear it with that wireless mic again, and that's all it takes to turn it on. Once you pair it, just one button, no dongles, no connections, and so I love the wireless mic feature. But now, how does the microphone work at a distance without the wireless mic? This is as I talk and I'm walking away. At some point, you probably can't hear me anymore because I've gotten too far away. You can't hear me anymore. But if I turn this thing on, well, I can see me as soon as I turn that on. Now I see the screen anymore, but now I know it's connected. Interesting, I can monitor my audio levels, but I can't see the video, but I bet you can see me a lot more. And there's that audio monitoring right here. And oh, you got to be careful where you put the camera. You don't want to get a spider. Hey there.
It also has a great set of accessories that come with the camera. There's 4 of them right here. I'm first going to start by showing you the hat clip, and I'm going to use it to show you the other accessories. So this clip, if you have a hat or a visor, you can then clip this on the hat. And once you've got it on the hat, then you get the same kind of clip that's the standard DJI Osmo Action mount. It's the same mount that's on the top of the dock. It's the same mount that this mounts. There's also one on the bottom of this. And so you could take either just the camera or the whole thing and mount it up here. It's kind of hard to do when I'm not looking at it, but when I am looking at it, it's pretty easy. And so you mount that right up there. So once you got that thing clipped up here on the hat, you can use it to shoot things down below you, but not more than just moving your head. It's even got a little hinge on it, so you can just kind of like bend it down and see the table. But if you're wondering what you see, if you were using a regular action camera like the Action 5 if you put it up here, you could never see the screen, so you wouldn't know what you were shooting. But you've got this little wireless thing right here, and so looking down, like you can see this, I can look down and I can see what I am framing right down here. To start recording, I could certainly push this, but where is that button? It's just much easier to go ahead and tap that button and then see what I'm recording. Oh, we're looking at my very large belly. Okay, so we're gonna adjust my framing here so you can see my desk, so we can look at the other accessories. Here, we'll put that right there. Okay, there we go. That is now perfect. Okay, so other accessories we've got this right here. This is a suction cup mount that I like to use for driving scenes. You can put this on the inside of your windshield. It has that same clip that's on the hat clip that you can mount either the camera unit, or you can mount the camera unit with the dock on it too, because the dock has those same clips on it. So you can see the dock would clip in right there, and then the camera would clip in right on the top. I like just using the camera because it's small, and then same deal, I can then use this remote viewing module to see what the camera is seeing mounted up in my windshield. The suction cup, you can also unscrew the suction cup, and then it has a little tripod style mount that then you could mount on a tripod or a selfie stick, so you can get a ball head for it. It also comes with a protective case for the camera that then extends the contacts right down here. I don't know that I use my camera that hard that I'll need that much. And then finally, we have this magnetic necklace. This is for putting it underneath your shirt. And so I'm gonna go ahead and take off the hat because I don't need that anymore. And I'm just gonna keep this, it's two ways, the magnets are on one side. I'm gonna keep it outside my shirt so you can kind of see what that looks like. But the hat clip, we're gonna go ahead and take this off actually, we'll take off the whole hat clip because there's something I want to show you with the hat clip too in just a moment. But the feature with this is the back of the Osmos, the feature with this is the back of the Nano is magnetic, and so you can put that magnetic bit right there, and then you have a cool thing to do POV shots. Now, you wouldn't really probably hang this outside your shirt, you would probably hang this inside your shirt, and then you would put this on it right there. So the camera just kind of like floats here right about at chest level. You can, if you want to angle it a little bit, then you can connect the Nano to the hat clip. And the hat clip is also magnetic too. So if you wanted to get some chest shots looking down, then you could do that there. And so you can use this to angle your shots from your chest up or down, or maybe, it's really strong magnet. Or maybe you want to get this shot right here. You want to get the looking up at you shot. You want to get the nose hair shot. How did I do on my nose hair trimming? Does it look pretty good? By the way, if you've noticed me looking off to the side of the lens a little bit, it's because a lot of the time I'm trying to frame what I look like in the main camera that I'm recording on, and I've got my little monitor up there. So sorry if I'm not looking at you during this whole review. Now that we talked through the good things, let's talk through some of the bad things, and then I'll share with you some of the really ugly things. So the first bad thing is the ergonomics of this device. They're just kind of weird. Certainly I like that it separates, but when you do have it connected like this, it's a weird shape. This is the regular Action camera, and it's kind of wider, and so I'm gonna switch to a different camera so you can see what's on the table. So when you have it on the table and it's next to your regular Action camera, the Action Pro, you can see the Osmo Nano really quite tall. And so the center of gravity, like you can put this on a table pretty good, or a bench or a fence, but this one it's really kind of top heavy, and so it does not stand by itself at all. It really has a tendency to just go ahead and fall down. Two, it's also kind of annoying that you have to like flip this around to see the screen. I feel like kind of a cool part about most Action cameras now is that they have like two screens, one on either side. So if you want to show for the front or you want to show for the back, you can go to vlog mode and you can turn it around and you can see both ways. Well, with this one, because the screen is only on one side, if I want to flip it around and then see the screen, then I got to click these two pins, then I've got to turn it around. I mean, it's not that much of a hassle, but I feel like it's not something you would do while you were shooting, but you would totally do that while you were shooting with a typical Action camera. Now, as much as I said that this might look like a discreet thing because it's really small, the fact that they emblazoned DJI on the front in white makes it not very discreet. I'm probably going to take a black Sharpie to that later and darken it out a bit. The built-in microphone in this, also not very good. It's very easy to cover up the microphone with your hands as you're vlogging. You can see here's a scene I did last night that I was vlogging and you couldn't hear me anymore because I inadvertently covered up the microphone.
What about me? This is what it looks like to vlog in the super night mode. I feel like this with this camera. I have the camera over here to the right, but I want to look at the screen. I want to look at both at the same time. I mean, I can do this. I feel like I do a lot more like these, you know? This is like another one of that like creative thing about this camera. Just makes you want to do like more creative shots off into the darkness.
Now earlier I mentioned you could record with this without the dock, so right now the dock is off. If you just press that little button on the top, it'll start recording to whatever last mode it was set to, that you used this for. The only way you can tell it's recording is there's a red light and then there's a beep that it makes, but it's only on one side. Like it's kind of honestly hard. It's hard to tell whether it's recording, and we're gonna get to overheating in a little bit. So it's also hard to notice once this thing like overheats and shuts down that you're not recording anymore. Now the camera module has no external connectors other than the one that connects to the dock, which means that you cannot charge this without connecting it to the dock. The only way it charges is from the dock. The dock is what has the USB-C connector on it. It also means you can't put an SD card slot in the camera. It also means you can't transfer video from the camera directly. So if all you have is this with you, this is pretty useless. It will record things, but you can't charge it and you can't transfer files from it. You need to connect it back to the dock to do any of that. And you need to also connect it to the dock the right way if you want to transfer files. For some reason, there's like a particular orientation that has to be, and if it's the other way, then it tells you need to turn it around to transfer files. You also do need to be mindful about how much storage space you have available. The 128 gigabyte version will record about 4 hours of 4K 30 footage, but as that starts to get full, and if you're out and about and you're not back at your computer to offload it, then you can offload it from this camera module to the SD card that's in the dock. But the 120 gigabytes can take about 25 minutes to transfer from here to free up space, and at which time it's doing that, you actually can't use the camera to do anything else. So it's probably the kind of camera that you definitely want to clear every day that you're using it and not plan to record more than a couple hours in any one go. Now I want to talk about the ugly, and there are 3 ugly things about the DJI Osmo Nano. The first one harkens back to something that I said was really awesome about this camera, the fact that it can wirelessly connect to the DJI mics really effortlessly and easily. And so right now I am recording with the Osmo Nano and I can see myself on the screen, but as soon as I take this off, when I have the microphone connected, the wireless display doesn't work anymore. You can't wirelessly view the video and have a wireless microphone connect at the same time. Super annoying, because to me, I feel like that's one of the killer features, that you can have this wireless mic and you could mount this in a faraway place, but the screen turns off when you have a wireless mic connected and the camera's removed from the dock. At the moment you put the camera back on the dock, then it reconnects, or at the moment that you turn off the microphone, it connects too. I mean, I guess one potential workaround to this is you could mount the camera up someplace, you could set up your framing. Once you've got your framing set up, then you could go ahead and turn on your microphone and start your scene, and maybe now you don't need your video anymore when you're recording yourself.
The one other annoying thing about using this in kind of the disconnected state with this as the remote viewer, having just recorded that video, I would want to be able to review it remotely, particularly if I stuck this piece up high. What's this piece? It's the camera piece that I'm holding, but you can't. You can't watch the video back. You can't play the video back unless the camera is connected to the dock.
The second ugly thing about this camera is that the nighttime performance, pretty much garbage. Last night I was out in San Diego's Mission Beach shooting some nighttime scenes just to see how it works, and at nighttime, I mean, it's all muddy and smeary and it's really not usable at all. And even before night, like even at sunset time, like trying to do like a time lapse on the beach or things like that, it wasn't dark, but like the footage from this was absolutely useless. So unless you're in bright, well-lit conditions, you might as well just keep this in your bag. I did do some night driving time lapses, and those looked kind of okay at least. And the third and final really ugly part of the DJI Osmo Nano is that this thing overheats like crazy. In my own air-conditioned home at an ambient temperature of 75 degrees Fahrenheit or 24 degrees Celsius, I could get 30 minutes of recording time at 4K 30 before this thing turned off and shut down. 15 minutes into recording at 4K 30, sitting on my desk, it told me it was overheating, so it stopped charging, and then after about 30 minutes, the whole thing turned off, and yes, it got really, really warm. So if you are planning to shoot long clips, long walking scenes, things like that, this is definitely not gonna be for you because it's gonna turn off and it's not gonna keep recording. So this is really only suitable for shooting short clips of a few minutes in length at a time or shooting time lapses. I didn't have any issues when I was shooting long time lapses. But I also wasn't shooting them at Death Valley in the summer. I had them inside my air-conditioned car. So with all that being said, what's my final assessment? Should you spend your hard-earned money on this camera? And it really kind of depends. I mean, I think it is a really cool camera, but it's really definitely a special purpose camera. I think it's really good for doing point of view shots. I love that you can put it on your hat. I love that it's got the accessories you can put on your chest. I love that it can be pretty small. It does have a lot of these limitations that means it is not a very good all-purpose action or vlogging camera. If you want an all-purpose action camera, then you should get the Action Pro right here. It's bigger, but it'll record longer. The microphones are better in it. You can see the cameras and connect it to the DJI mic and see it on both screens. So long recording, action shots, get this one. If you want an all-purpose vlogging camera, my favorite right now is the DJI Osmo Pocket 3. If you get the creator combo, it comes with a built-in, it doesn't come with a built-in microphone, but it comes with a DJI Mic 2 that wirelessly connects to it. This is what I use to record most of my vlogs on, but I am still going to be using the Nano in addition to the other things. Why? Well, because I do like this little small form factor. I do like being able to get the creative shots. I'm definitely going to use it when I do some urban scenes. You know, in the middle of San Francisco, when I don't want to bring my tripod, this is what I'm going to stick up with the magnet to a street sign so I can have a good talk from a good distance. So if you're looking to buy your first camera to get into vlogging or one all-purpose camera, this is definitely not it. But if you've got a bunch of other cameras and you're looking for something to get some creative footage, then definitely check out the DJI Osmo Nano. Now, if you're curious what are some of the other cameras that I use and other travel YouTubers use, check out this video right here where I reveal the secret gear of travel YouTubers. Fellow explorers, as usual, I won't say goodbye because I'll see you in this video.